Hey guys, Trevor John coming out to another Diablo 4 video. Okay, so this video is going to be very specific. We're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about the 1.1.2 update that's coming on the 15th. We are also going to mention that Path of Exile's new league starts next Friday. Does this update actually help in a way that it's going to keep players engaged in Diablo 4? Or do we think everyone's going to kind of fall victim to the whole, well, this is kind of like there's nothing quite new, nothing riveting. I'm gonna go check out this other game. So we're gonna talk about it, bring up a couple of different various things with that. Also, we may touch a little bit on the D3 announcement for their season as well, and how that might apply and or affect Diablo 4. All right, so let's just go ahead and dive right into it, guys. So first things first, obviously this is patch 1.1.2 whatever. This was thought to originally be a hotfix. Now it's definitely been announced obviously as a patch here. And what we're expecting to see here is what we didn't get on the last patch, and also subtle changes in response to the last patch. So you would think there would be a lot more updates to include in this, but it does not seem that's the case. So let's go ahead and let's talk about them, because I think it's going to affect some things. So one, malignant monster reduced from 5 to 2 seconds. That's great. The trade channel chat by default, this is very confusing. We don't have trade chat. Like if I were to turn off my camera here right now, you can see I have local, clan, and then I have DMs to people. We don't have a trade chat. So I feel like the way they worded this whole thing here, the verbiage is just very incorrect, and it's kind of unfortunate. Like you would think they would pre-read this before releasing. Bug fixes. Nightmare dungeons could be repeated, promoting like this right here, this whole statement. The fact that this could be done, one, is embarrassing that this is happening. For two, I don't know why anyone was doing it, because you're just ruining the game for yourself, because now you're power leveling, and then what are you going to do? You don't have anything more fun to do because you win as quickly as you can instead of playing the game as intended. So that's kind of irritating. I do like when they do these type of mechanics though, because it's basically like they're like, hey, we can't ban you and call this an exploit, because it's not really technically like an exploit. We left it in the game. You can do it with minimal effort, minimal discovery. So I do like that they went ahead and said, nope, this is how we're going to solve it. You're not going to do this at all. That to me is great. I absolutely, it's not that I hate having all the options in the world. I really don't enjoy it when like games necessarily will go a little hardcore on like, oh, hey, this is how everything has to be played. Or for example, or like, oh, it's just so loosey goosey, you can't really follow anything. I think this is good because it at least allows Blizzard to have more continuity as far as leveling goes, because a lot of people could bitch like, oh, well, no, you can't level at all. Or, well, no, if you do this method, you're going to power level constantly. So I do like it when they go ahead and just eliminate this. It takes away that debatable item, so to speak. It actually kind of shifts the blame from like the viewer, the player to Blizzard, right? So that's kind of nice. Gathering legions, that's cool. Druid, we're going to talk about it. I haven't played Druid. It'd just be super ignorant if I talked about it. We're going to touch on a couple other things here, and then we're going to dive into more information. So one, let's see here. They fixed an issue where iron skin elixirs could be obtained indefinitely by repeatedly accepting and abandoning the Desperate Remedies quests. I did not know that was a thing. That seems really broken. I'm really surprised they didn't catch that, to be honest with you. Also, it looks like white lines were appearing on the world map. I never experienced that. I think I would be pretty upset if I did, not gonna lie. It already drives me nuts that I don't have an overlay on my build or when I'm running around, let alone if I had white lines on my world map. Let's see here. Fixed an issue where there were notifications for the world boss appearance would malfunction if the player hadn't unlocked Whispers of Dead yet. That's kind of weird, but also I feel like the world boss appearance like announcement, other than obviously, you know, Discord. If you join the Aftershock United Discord, we have the bot that's in our server as well that tells you when Helltides, Legion, world boss, all that stuff shows up. Or you can go to the helltides.com and it'll show you there as well. But I don't like how in game they even notify you. I feel like it's just not very well done, to be honest. Like you kind of have to rely on the third party to really nail the timing for the world boss, which is kind of unfortunate. Fixed an issue where linking an item in chat wouldn't be displayed properly in the battle.net. Didn't experience that, but I could definitely believe it. Let's see here. What else was it? Oh yeah, tooltips have been changed for the malignants, it looks like. So Talrasha, Caged Heart, Great Feast now correctly state their bonuses are additive, not multiplicative, which is great. Because you definitely want to be clear on that, because we all know 1 + 1 is only 2. 1 times 1 is only 1, which is technically worse. But 1, let's say, times 5 is, yeah, it's just one of those situations where you start doing the math of it, like, you kind of want more multiplication instead of addition. It's just scales a lot better. So, but anyways, so that's nice. And then also a description updated to clarify that the specifically reduces source draining effects from enemies. This is the Caged Heart of Determination. So this is kind of a rip because, I mean, yeah, it's great that it updated to clarify it, but basically this is only good for like certain dungeons. It's kind of a rip. Let's see here. Fixed an issue where the Boon of Tide objective could not be completed as expected. Okay, that's unfortunate. This teleporting thing, that's kind of interesting to read. So basically what they're saying there is, like, if you had Blood Mist on, like, you could still travel to the dungeon, which is kind of weird. You would think they needed to wait until after that skill is done, its duration, right? Fixed an issue where some untraceable objects, particularly corpses, could not be interacted with. I don't really get this one. I was a necro and I had zero issues with that, so that seems really odd. Also fixed an issue where the mount skills were sometimes not available after leaving a city. I had that problem. It was very irritating. I think I said it in like 2 or 3 videos ago. So I'm glad they fixed it. Definitely glad they fixed it. That's awesome. But I'm noticing that they still didn't mention anything about fixing the horse and the barrier. So that was one of those things where I bitched about it in the last several videos. People left comments like, oh, it's in the next patch. I'm not seeing it. All right, fixed an issue where the calculated malignant power could consume the stun effect of non-damaging abilities. Okay, fixed an issue where druids, necromancers, and rogues could not gamble for helms at the unsavory oddities vendor. Oh, that's funny. It's just in that town. Okay. Fixed an issue where you could not replace an equipped Wrathful Heart with another one. I did experience that, and I had to like take the piece of gear off and then put it back on again. It's kind of weird. Fixed an issue where the most effective effect of Penitent Greaves didn't display properly in the final campaign boss arena. I'm not really sure what that's even referring to. I don't remember, not gonna lie to you. Fixed an issue where quest items could randomly appear in town, various stability performances, blah, 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 blah. So overall, in general, let's sum it up. They're kind of fixing the infinite farming. They aren't fixing the mounts and barrier problems, which is kind of a rip. And what's the other one that's kind of, oh, the malignant, changing the names of the malignants to match what they're supposed to be. Yep, that's probably like the biggest takeaway as well. It's kind of unfortunate this isn't a massive update or patch. And the reason why we're bringing it up and talking about it is because, well, one, we have other games coming out. We're not in a situation where D4 is it. If there's nothing else that's competing, like, unfortunately, D4 has Baldur's Gate. It has Path of Exile League. It has The Last Epoch's League, which I think is almost wrapping up now. It's got, I think I said Baldur's Gate already. Oh, the D3 announcement, which is also huge. Basically, if you guys saw that, there's solo self-founds finally coming, which is weird that never existed in a game that's how old? And also Paragon Cap level, which is kind of cool. It's introducing a ceiling to D3, which essentially tells you, okay, you're done with this stat, and really makes you focus more on your build so much as like getting just general stats to upgrade your Paragon. So they're making good changes to that game, which already has a wealth of content because it's been out for how many years? So making those types of changes to D3, which is great. Good job. That's very detrimental to D4 though. Like, and I hope they understand that, because the community is already kind of like a little bit up in an uproar over D4. Like everyone's kind of upset. Like, hey, you know, this doesn't have the content I want. This is boring. It's built for the casuals, and some people are just losing it for that, right? So it's kind of disadvantageous, in my opinion, to then change D3 to make it reflect more of what the people are kind of asking for. Like, that's going to just draw people away. Now, is it going to generate some additional sales into Diablo 3 from Diablo 4 players who just got into D4 and never played any Diablo franchises? Yes, probably. It probably works out well marketing wise. However, game wise, it makes you kind of de-incentivizes you from even wanting to play after this patch. And that's the ultimate problem is these patches right here, guys, like these changes, none of them were so drastic that it would change the game or make you feel like you really need to engage more and play. And that's the problem. I'm not saying any of this patch is necessarily bad. It really isn't. Neither was the one before it that what we just had. That was pretty decent. However, if they don't make these types of changes regularly, like right off the bat, like it shouldn't take until like the player base is gone for you to do these types of updates, especially with being a brand new game. So it's kind of unfortunate. And I also think that that's going to play into the simple fact that they're going to do this to D3, make it better. And guess what? Path of Exile has a new league launch on the 18th. That's 6 days of recording this. I'll be covering it as well because it's fun. So, and it's one of those situations where if you're not someone who is just obsessed with D4, let's just say you're a gamer and you're an ARPG fan, it's unfortunate that these types of updates there's no way this keeps you in there. Like, we have a wealth of games to be playing right now, a wealth of time and other games to be playing, and no one wants to waste their time on something that feels super repetitive without any clear direction. Also, I'm irritated because the stupid horse and barrier thing isn't fixed. Come on, fix it. It's not even going to be fixed on this next hot patch. So, or a hot fix or patch or whatever the heck you want to call it. But yeah, anyways, I'm done ranting. It's just unfortunate that this even though this update's cool, it's still pretty lackluster. And unfortunately, I feel like a lot of the player base is going to go to Path of Exile or D3. Who knows? Maybe by second season, D4 will have it together and it'll kick ass. I guess we'll have to. Only time will tell. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a comment, like, subscribe. You know the deal. But also, come check me out on Twitch. I do stream a lot during the week, and I'll be streaming D4 and Path of Exile when that launches the new season. And yeah, we're just gonna try to have fun. That's what I like to do, is just have fun. So hopefully you guys out there can also have fun playing the same games as I am. All right, have a good rest of your day, guys. Peace.